Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to February 3rd, 2025, take two. I just started recording and I went on a 5-minute rant in regards to tariffs. And I was thinking, you probably don't want to hear a 5-minute rant when it comes to tariffs. For those who know anything about me would know that I despise tariffs. I think targeted tariffs might be okay, but broad tariffs are destructive. They're horrible. They're not good. No one's going to win from any sort of tariff war, including Americans, including Trump. And if I was or did vote in the American elections, and I can vote, there would have been a 0% chance I would have voted for Trump just because of his absolute love of tariffs. And whenever he says, my favorite word in the dictionary is tariffs, I think, how would he get any votes if he said, my favorite word in the dictionary is taxes? But tariffs are taxes. They're import taxes. And all you have to do is just have a look at the Great Depression. In fact, I did this. This is how I started the rant. All you have to do is just Google the Great Depression. Just go to Wikipedia. And not far down in the Wikipedia, when it comes to the Great Depression, they talk about the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. And in fact, according to the US Senate website, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act is among the most catastrophic acts in congressional history. So are we seeing history repeat? That's the big question I have. Maybe we have. Are we going to see history repeat? Now, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act did not cause a Great Depression, but it did not make it better. In fact, it made it significantly worse. In a 1995 survey of American economists or economic historians, 2/3 agreed that the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act at least worsened the Great Depression. Anyway, so it really decreased international trade. It was really hurtful to not only the United States, but most countries around the world. Now, one of the interesting announcements I'm going to show you today is in regards to tariffs. And this one company shows that you need to have or look at third order thinking, because there is a definite negative impact of tariffs on the United States that Trump and many tariff people would not think about or probably haven't thought about. And this is probably one of the most intriguing announcements, not only today, but I have seen for a while, because it gives a good idea of what companies are thinking when it comes to tariffs. So I'll show you that announcement. It was actually not marked price sensitive. And it's quite amazing that I actually did find this announcement, because I have been busy all day. I came back to my computer at about 7:45 p.m. and I just started recording as soon as I arrived home. So I'll show you that announcement from Austin Engineering. There was a few other announcements from companies in regards to the tariff, how it might affect them, including Cettire, share price down about 17%, Fisher & Paykel, share price down 7%. Who else? And maybe one or two others. So I do have a list of companies I do want to speak about in today's video. And I'll go really quickly through the ASX today. A fairly negative day because of the tariffs. Small caps down 2.28%. No sector would have done well today. Best performing sector, energy, only down 0.5%. And this is not the sort of day where anyone will have done good, unless your medical developments holdings. I think the share price of this company was up about 25% at one point. So up 19.5. Nice continuing momentum. However, a little bit of selling during the day because the high was at 88 cents and share price closed at 79.5 cents. So a pretty good day for that company if you heavily invested in medical developments or devices, whatever it's called. So there's not much we really have to talk about here. It's a bad day. Bad day all around. I expect a pretty big sell-off on Wall Street. Trump won't like that. There's many things Trump won't like. Strength in the American dollar as well. He wants the American dollar to be weak because that makes American exports more attractive. But his policies make the American dollar stronger, which is bad for American exports. And he doesn't like that. I know he doesn't like that. Also, he wants interest rates to drop. And his policies do the complete opposite. They're more likely to rise. So it's really weird what he wants, and his policies go against exactly what he wants. Well, maybe not exactly, but definitely what some of the things he wants. So it's really interesting what he's doing and what he's trying to achieve. I don't know what his objective is. It's really weird. Anyway, I sort of do know, but I don't think he can achieve those objectives is what he's doing. Okay, so we won't have a look at the ASX 20, assuming... Actually, let's have a quick look. is there a company in the ASX 20 that was up? I'm not saying there was one company up. I have no idea which company might be up. I'm going to say one beat the trend. Oh, there you go. One beat the trend. But what company could it be? We have a 1 in 20 chance, 5% chance of picking a company, although I'm cheating here because I can see about 9 companies here. Oh, geez, what could have beaten the trend today? Energy, Woodside. Let's have Woodside. Actually, Telstra. Woodside was close, came in second. Telstra, I didn't even think about Telstra. I just went energy because it had the better day. Worst performing company in the ASX 20 was, here we go, where is it? Fortescue. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, Iron Ore had a bad day, China, that sort of thing. And Pro Medicus, that makes sense as well. WiseTech makes sense as well. I was thinking of QBE Insurance, but I thought, no, financials had a bad day. Anyway, okay, let's have a look at the best and worst performing companies on the ASX today. This is something I haven't had a look at. So this might be a little bit of surprise. I don't know what to expect here. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know. I've never heard of OzAurum Resources. Share price up 67%. Fairly big turnover. Markup's fairly low. I would say this was just drilling results. I am assuming. Let's have a look at their announcement today. I'm assuming they released an announcement. And if it's drilling results, we can move on. It is new high-grade gold discovery at Mulgabby North Gold Project. I'm going to have a quick look at this. And I'm just going to compare it to some of the numbers I've seen in the past and just think, can I see the reaction? Yeah. 20 meters at 3. I probably would like the depth to be a little bit bigger than 20 meters. There's a 49 meters down below there, but that's fairly low grade. So the market has reacted nicely to this. So let's have a look at the chart for this OzAurum, whatever it's called. What's happening here? I don't think I tried to. OzAurum. And the share price in the downtrend, bit of selling today, which is understandable. I have no interest. Zero interest in OzAurum. Blinklab. Oh, this is interesting. Blinklab. I got an email about Blinklab today, towards the start of the day, and it was a recommendation or something from East Coast Research. East Coast Research. I don't know why I'm getting emails from this. Whoever it is, Blinklab. Sponsored equity research. I wonder what that means. I wonder if that means Blinklab did pay East Coast Research to do research on them or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, Blinklab is up 26.42%. And yeah, so let's have a look at the chart for Blinklab. I have a feeling this is a recent IPO. And when I say recent, I'm talking about April of last year. And the chart looks unextraordinary. And also we have medical developments. There it is, another good day. Alterity Therapeutics, a fairly good day 2 days ago or 2 trading days ago. And other than that, also Yogi did release something today, but fairly low turnover, so I can move on. And really nothing else there. So let's have a look at the top gainers by market cap, just to see if any big company had a good day. In fact, the biggest company in the top gainers is actually the strong bear, the B-Boss. We also had Findi, who I believe mentioned that Bank of India has approved their acquisition. So I can move on. MoneyMe had a good day, but you can see only up 4.55%. And there's also B-Bus, had a pretty good day as well. So no real big surprises here. Interesting enough, Motorcycle Holdings had a good day. I am actually trading that company, and I was thinking of selling it because it's not really going in the direction I want. So sometimes when trade's not going in a direction, it still can have a good day when the overall market's had a bad day. There you go. Go Motorcycle Holdings. Okay, so let's go to the top losers, and I already know some of the companies in this. So Westgold, Fisher & Paykel, Satire, Resolute as well. So let's have a look at if some of these companies are in the top losers. I'm assuming something there. XREF. That's interesting because they are or have been under a takeover. Has that takeover, XF1 was it? Has that takeover been pulled? Let's have a look. Results. Scheme meeting proxy results. Scheme meeting chairman's address and presentation. Seems like something must have gone wrong. Share price down 24%. You can see just by the chart there's a takeover bid. It looks like there was an increase in takeover bid in October, and then for some reason share price has dropped today. I don't know what's happened there, and I don't want to do the research because I don't really care all that much. But it is interesting that is the worst performing company by percentage change, and then most of these companies don't really care about, except Satire down 18.97%. If I was doing a top 5 stocks of the day, this would be near the top. They did release announcement in regards to the tariffs and the effect of tariffs on this company. There it is, amendments to US tariff regime. Of course, the market has assumed that this company is going to be severely affected. I had a quick look. Yeah, I can understand why the share price is down. And so the share price or the chart, not the sort of chart I do like. Yeah, so this is, at this point in time, just now, is not really a tradable security for me, personally for me. Now, if the share price fell to $1, that's a nice little support level, maybe. But for me, this is not a tradable security at this point in time. And what else do we have here? Nothing of note or nothing I wanted to talk about. So I thought there might have been a few companies within this list. So maybe we have to turn our attention to the top losers by market cap. And I'm assuming we'll see Westgold down 12.4%. Just missed the previous one by percentage change. This was a downgrade. So I'm not surprised share price is down 12.4%. Financial year 25 guidance update. I actually did have to read this twice. I don't know, I forget why, because they had 4 columns. They had the 4 columns, and it looks like there was an actual and then a guidance for the first half and the second half. And the second half guidance is significantly greater than the first half. And I was a little bit confused because then for some reason, I looked at the last 2 columns first. And then I looked at the updated financial year 25 guidance, and that was significantly lower than the post-merger financial year 25 guidance in relation to production, significantly lower. And even worse is the all-in sustaining costs is significantly higher as well. And growth capital, we don't care about growth capital and exploration, but those are 2 big ones. Production well lower than expected and costs well higher than expected. So definitely can understand why the share price has dived today. And maybe this merger is not going to plan. Maybe there are some teething issues. And sometimes you do see that when there are mergers or acquisitions, there can be teething problems. So let's look at the chart for Westgold. I have a feeling the share price of this company fell a fair bit a few weeks ago. Yeah, on the 9th of January. So almost a month ago. Share price did drop a fair bit. There was also a moving average crossover. So that's sort of the first signs that things may not be moving as smoothly as possible. And so the chart for Westgold looks pretty horrible. I was going to say another word. Deplorable. Deplorable. We'll say that word. Vulcan Energy, I was trading that, got it out, happy to get out, share price down 10%. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these companies bounce a fair bit tomorrow, depending on what happens on Wall Street overnight. Resolute, this one did pop up. Yes, I did put this on my companies to talk about. Change in management or something, if I remember correctly. Management changes, yeah, management changes. So share price down 9.64%. Obviously, the market doesn't like the management changes. I didn't have a look at this announcement. Just want to see how the market reacted. Market has not reacted favorably. Oh, that's right. This is the company who had their management kidnapped by, was it the Mali government? Anyway, why? My question will be why right now? Unless you saw value in this company. Unless you saw value, I would be saying why. To Resolute. So let's move on. What else? Satire. I've already talked about Satire. Nothing else here. Crypto innovators down a lot. SPC Global still falling like a rock. And Metavise share price down 10.8%. I expected a few other companies there. Fisher & Paykel I expected. So Fisher & Paykel did release how the tariffs, they actually said the tariffs won't affect them. Higher costs, but their profits will still be in line with what they thought. Share price down 7.42%. It just shows you that we had a pretty bad day today. And even with the share price down 7.42%, it didn't even make it into the top loser list. Just shows you what sort of bad day we have had. So cost forecast to increase under new US tariff regime. Okay, now I'm going to talk about, I'll leave Austin Engineering, which had one of the most interesting announcements I have seen for a long, long time. I actually mentioned here, Livewire Market Index Reporting Calendar. Oh, yes. I got an email today, and it was a Livewire Market Index Reporting Calendar. See if I can find that. This is interesting, and I do like this calendar. Livewire Market Index Reporting Calendar. That's the wrong one. This is August. August. I want February. Reporting season. Maybe it's in this one. I got an email. There was a link in my email, and yeah, so I'm not sure where you find it on the website, because I'll try to find it tomorrow, and then I'll show you this really good little document or something from this Livewire Market Index that has or lists all the companies and what date they're reporting on. It's like 6 pages long. It's one of the more comprehensive reporting calendars I have seen. So I'll show you that tomorrow if I remember. Okay, so a few other interesting announcements. We had Argo. Is it Argo? Investments released their results today. Argo. Oh, was it Argo Global? No, I forget. I just put, it's ARG. Argo Investments. They released their results today. Yeah, I didn't have a look. Didn't have time. Share price flat. So, one that I did open this up. I did open it. I now remember. And the reason I remember is because they had a list of their purchases and sales during the half year. And I looked at these purchases and sales and I went, just buy an ETF. So purchases, Worley, Steadfast, NAB, BHP Group, Westpac, Emotive. So they're just looking at the biggest companies on the ASX, and they sold Commonwealth Bank, Acadian Lithium, Quantum Intellectual Property. That was bought out a while ago, I'm pretty sure. Aristocrat, Macquarie Group, Computershare. I can understand Aristocrat, Macquarie Group, Commonwealth Bank, they're all way overvalued, but I'm not sure if any of these purchases are undervalued. Yeah, I think they're just rotating from Commonwealth Bank and Macquarie back into NAB and Westpac because they're better value. That's about it. But why not just buy ANZ? Anyway, they do also go into a bit of commentary in regards to economics, macroeconomics around the world. But I suppose that's interesting enough to have a quick look at. And that's what I did. I forgot about that. And what else do we have? Hansen Technologies. This is a good one. This was a positive market update. And with the share price up 2.2%, that's really good on a day like this. So it was actually very positive, maybe not very, but definitely positive. Financial year 25 guidance, this is the bit I like. The company reaffirms its full-year guidance, projecting strong revenue growth from its diversified global operations compared to the previous year. This positive outlook reflects the impact of this strategic agreement and the successful completion of other key initiatives. So I thought that was quite positive. And the chart is not bad, but it's not great. This is another one where maybe just waiting for a bit of a breakout. So looks like the share price had been in an uptrend, has pulled back a little bit, and maybe is continuing its uptrend right now. Maybe. So not the best of charts, but not also the worst. And 2 more announcements I want to talk about. And yeah, the first one is Mosaic Brands. I did get a question about this a while ago. Is there any hope for this? And that hope has evaporated. Completely evaporated. I actually knew this last week. I don't know how. Someone mentioned it in a podcast, and then I went, "Is that true?" And then I just Googled it, and yeah, they went bust last week. Receivers update. They were trying to the receivers or the pointers, the what do you call it? The liquidators, whatever you call them, the administrators. That's it. Were looking for someone to buy. What was it? Was it Rivers, Millers, and Noni B? But they found no one to buy it. That's what this announcement is saying. No one wanted to buy those particular brands. They closed all the other brands. So they just mentioned here, they're announcing the planned closure of Rivers, Millers, and Noni B. By the way, my shopping centre just up the road had Katie's and Rivers, and Katie's has already been cleaned out. And I'd assume that Rivers will be cleaned out fairly soon. Anyway, so closing of those brands, the remaining brands and stores in the Mosaic Brands portfolio. Despite the best efforts of all parties, a sale of any other brands within the Mosaic portfolio as a going concern was unable to be achieved. So we're saying bye-bye to Mosaic Brands. Bye-bye. I should do a video on this because I did have a few questions about Mosaic Brands about 3 or 4 years ago, particularly with their current assets versus current liabilities. I just did not understand how this company could have significantly higher current liabilities than current assets. No one could explain it to me. I did find something that if a company has really high or quick turnover, that could work. So I'm thinking a supermarket, but I'm not thinking a clothes company or a retail company like Mosaic Brands. So that could have been one of the first red flags you could see, that if you compare the current liabilities to the current assets, I think the current liabilities would double current assets. And for me, that was weird. Anyway, so maybe it's just coincidence. I don't know. Anyway, Mosaic Brands. Now on to the announcement that I found fascinating. This is from Austin Engineering. Was not marked price sensitive, so don't know how I found it, but I found it on a little bit of a break today. I found this announcement, and the reason why it was amazing I found it because it was not marked price sensitive, and I typically only look at price sensitive announcements. So somehow I don't know how, I forget how, it could have been an email, it had to be something, I can't remember what. Anyway, Austin's US business shielded from US tariff impacts. But what I found interesting about this is they've moved their production, or seemingly they've moved their production from the United States to Canada. Why would they move their production from the United States to Canada? I went through this fairly quickly, but that's what I got from this particular announcement. In the last 9 months, Austin completed a repositioning of its US business to ensure it would not be directly affected by tariffs. This has primarily included the development of new truck tray sub-assembly supply chain route using Canadian contractors for sub-assembly builds. And Austin has undertaken final assembly builds in Canada for several years. Okay, and Austin is confident the sub and final assembly partnership agreements will be sufficient to meet its customer orders and demand in Canada. Until recently, truck body sub-assemblies were built in Austin's manufacturing facility in Casper, Wyoming. Austin's decision to build Canada-bound truck trays in Canada will free up capacity at the Casper facility to meet current increased demand in the United States. Okay, so they haven't completely moved to the United States, but they have moved, maybe not significant, but they have moved a portion of their production to Canada. So in a way, these tariffs meant manufacturing in the United States has dropped. And I don't think, so many people have thought about this. There are second, third order impacts of tariffs. And the reason they've moved, I think, some of their production to Canada is because the import costs. Now, if you broadly put tariffs on everything coming into a country, and if Austin is using a lot of these imports to build their trucks in the United States, that's increased costs. So it's more efficient and more cost effective to be building that stuff in Canada or elsewhere. So in a way, tariffs can be harmful. And this is another example of why tariffs can be harmful, because it actually does lead to some manufacturers leaving the country instead of coming into the country, because it's cheaper to manufacture outside the country because of tariffs on the imports you're importing. So again, tariffs are on imports. The importer pays the tariffs, not the country you're putting the import on. And Trump has continually said that Mexico, Canada, China pays the tariffs. No, they don't. They don't pay 1 cent of tariffs. It's the consumer or the importer who pays the tariffs. And Austin Engineering is showing that right now. That's the reason why they're getting some of the business out of the United States into Canada. Anyway, Austin previously imported some sub-assembly trays from Canada to the US, but ceased its supply chain route several months ago in preparation for this. Anyway, so we expect the cost impact of this change to supply chain to move some elements of production to Canada to be broadly cost neutral. There you go. This is due to the increase in supply costs being offset by lower freight costs. Increase in supply costs, tariffs on things they're importing so they can produce or manufacture, that's supply costs. So anyway. And lower steel costs in Canada compared to the US. Again, tariffs, US steel is going to be more expensive, so lower steel costs in Canada. So there is going to be some manufacturers who actually leave you in the United States because of this, and maybe some who come to the United States, but it could be net even, who knows? Anyway, so probably one of the most intriguing announcements I did see, not only today, but for a while, showing the impacts, the second order, third order impacts of tariffs, that tariffs can, affect manufacturers in a negative way. Anyway, I think that's all I have for today's video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who's qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.